show. Let's see what has been happening in the wrestling world. Welcome to the show, where comedy meets wrestling by fans for fans. The two counts, always the best guests in Midwest. The two counts, wait time guaranteed because we're the best of the best. Meet Big Ace and JR, Top Shelf Tommy, we're about to start. Welcome to the two counts. It's time to dig deep into the wrestling world. Welcome to the two counts, where comedy meets wrestling by fans for fans. The two count.
The two count. The two count, where comedy meets wrestling. Please comment, share, like, and start a hype train for God's sakes. And now, here are the hosts of The Two Count. Comedian John Russell, wrestling broadcaster Big Ace, and everybody's favorite heel, Top Shelf Tommy.
Hey everybody, happy Tuesday to you. What a day, what a world. Happy to see all of you. By the way, I just want to say we get a lot of people watching us on X, which is really surprising to me.
Follow us too, then, if you're watching.
What?
I said if they're watching on X, follow the account as well.
Give us a
please.
quick follow.
Yeah, do that. But I'm just I'm curious what it looks like. I've not watched it back on X. I mean, I don't know if it's
a video like that.
Tiny or if it's
it's the live stream on a tweet.
Yeah,
it's just a little video that's playing live, and if you click on the tweet, you can watch it full screen.
Sweet. That's pretty nice. Anyway,
I know technology is awesome, isn't it, JR? I'm sorry. I apologize.
Don't
you went silent, and I just don't know. I'm sorry.
No. I sometimes wonder, what's the purpose for you saying this stuff?
Entertainment value.
Okay.
Pew pew. Pew, pew.
Anyway, so you gentlemen were down in Algona, Iowa, at the Kossuth County Fairgrounds for an absolute pro wrestling show this Saturday. Was it 420? You did a 420?
It was a 420 show. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, Brandon the Shank Eubanks, everybody. Yes. How you doing today, Shank?
Shanky, how's your arm, buddy?
Messed that up there. Yeah. That was the big story coming out of this. That ladder match. That ladder match for all the gold. Ended up getting a little sideways. Shanky baby left with an elbow injury or something of that effect. So we're trying to break the news, huh? You're gonna be able to fight next week against Jackson King. Because that's the thing. Absolute was running 3 weeks in a row, man. Algona, Steamboat Rock, and Waterloo. Just running that 18, whatever highway it is, Highway 18 or whatever fucking interchange or
Highway.
I don't know what. I don't know the fucking roads in Iowa. I just know 35 gets you in and out of that state.
You said it right away.
I know, because I just know that's the one that goes.
Can't kill a shank. Yes.
That's right. You can't kill a shank. Well, that's good to hear that you're all right, buddy. I'm guessing it was probably just maybe a little swollen, or maybe you got to take it a little easy or something. But elbow injuries ain't no joke, man. That shit can fucking handicap.
You got ice that fucker.
Hopefully that was not your masturbation hand.
Well, even if it is, you don't need to talk like that. You can go a week without it. And also, I mean, we all know that Shanky's well endowed, but I mean, unless he's just full on just straight on the elbow. he's shaking a pop can apparently, or a paint can.
I somehow wonder where the hell I ended up today.
Well, it looks like you're at a stream. You got bears back there again, or no?
No, I don't mean there. I mean this whole thing is already started off goony.
I mean, This whole show was your idea.
I know it was.
This was your baby.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, we can just end it right now and just call it a day already, fellas. I don't, it's fine by me.
All right. Well, good to see y'all. See you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Hold on. Let me find the video.
Just a load of disappointment on anybody who's watching. Just, oh man, I thought we were gonna
Coming soon to the 2 count.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard
Coming
of
to the
John
2 count
Russell,
Malice.
the oldest guy on Twitch? He's a little grumpy and he begs for subs and bits. He's live from someone's basement where he goes on pissy rants. He could die while on the air, sitting in his underpants. Follow and sub to WrestleMania. John Russell loves you.
I just want to say that the girl that did that has extremely increased her prices.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
How much you pay for that?
I paid, I believe, $20 for that one.
What's she charging now?
She's charging $75 now.
Oh, what a bitch!
I mean,
I don't need
inflation, baby. We all got to make a living.
another one.
No. She
You
does
know.
a wonderful work. It's
And we
worth
got-
it. Look what she did.
Friday night, I need a fight. A wrestling ring and an old steel chair. A mic in hand and my pants feel tight. But what I need to make me tight are those rings. Good guys, weaselly heels. Rings. Making fans at Madhouse squeal. Rings. Big deals and highlight reels. I'm unique when I speak. I'm on the mic and they love me. My old knees, you could hear them creak. At APW, yeah, they know I'm a freak. Rings. Hey, Tommy, check that out, man. Hey, right there. Hey, baby, don't you want to be top shelf? Rings.
I got to get the words underneath for that one.
It's also funny that you did a Motley Crue song for me, which is like the last fucking thing that would be me.
Oh, I know. I understand. I mean, but I that was the easiest one because see what I tried to do was I tried to make the lyrics so I come up with something that I could use. I mean, I totally get it. You're not I mean, but Dave Matthews does not have any songs that would.
Dude, that's so funny because I actually haven't really listened to Dave Matthews Band in
Years.
8 years, maybe.
Well, that used to be your thing.
You and most of the planet, to be real fair.
Yeah, I kind of just I don't know. It just I think they plateaued at a point where the new records just they weren't doing anything really.
I mean, I know he's still out playing. I know he's out
like, and don't get me wrong, I'll go to the show still. The shows
Yeah.
are amazing. I mean, if you just want to see musicianship at one of its finest, the shows are amazing. And the first like 8 albums are amazing too. So like, but yeah, no, I haven't really been listening.
Well, so be it. I did. So you guys were in APW at Algona.
Yeah. How was Elgin?
Elgin was a show. So aside from what I already told you, and I don't want to go too far into the behind the.
You don't want to get in trouble.
I mean,
you don't want to start.
No,
shit.
name names. Fuck it. Name names.
It's nobody's fault other than one guy.
I mean, it's always at least
it.
one guy's fault.
Yeah.
It's just is, and it ultimately doesn't make any difference. But I will tell you, so this was super weird. So I get done with the show, and I have some of my friends. So you guys remember that I was in Rochester the weekend before, so I thought some of my friends from radio came out to Elgin because they're cheap fucks, and it was a free show.
Yep, of course.
I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. But so I do the show, and the show's done and over, and afterwards I'm ha he ha 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 talking to people, and
how's it go again?
Yeah, you know how that's how you do. And there's one table, and a woman gets up and says, "I'm surprised you didn't say anything about Fargo." And I'm like, well, I mean, I normally don't. I don't have any jokes about. And she says, "Do you remember Kyle Richardson? It was a guy that I worked with up there." Well, yeah. And I'm trying to place this woman, and her friend, her friend next to her goes, "That's Andrea." And then Andrea says, "Yeah, you remember we got drunk and made out one time at Playmakers." Oh my God!
She said this. You made out with Andrea and
yeah,
got drunk. What?
Huh. This would have been in probably 1996 or 97.
Wow, y'all getting the goss here tonight, man.
I mean, and it's, I know, and it was.
Did she hold up?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be like, who was the loser idiot in this scenario?
Should have married her, that gal. Made out with her one time drunkenly in Fargo. Should have married that gal.
It was
be watching the Bears together.
Oh my gosh. And so now, apparently now she lives in Fargo. She works as a sleep tech and does sleep apnea stuff. And I'm like, oh my God,
shit.
You're still my dream girl.
Right down your alley there. Free CPAP machines?
Oh my God, bring them on.
Wait, so she still lives up in Fargo? What the fuck she was doing in Elgin?
No, she lives in Rochester now. She works at the clinic.
Well, fuck, JR. Move back to Rochester.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, whatever.
How
dare I even fucking throw it out there then? Jesus Christ.
The whole thing is, all the way I'm driving home and I'm thinking, oh my God, she must be going, boy, did I dodge a bullet on that fucking guy.
You never know. You could have been like, hey, what's going on? You still single? Or whatever. Fucking, I don't know.
JR comes limping over. Never mind.
Yeah.
Get that walker out. I'll come and get you.
I know about sleep apnea. I don't need to deal with that. I deal with it every day. I don't want to see it at night. Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to lie next to it. I got to hear that shit during the day, and whenever I work at night, yeah, fucking great.
But that was the freakiest thing to me. I mean, and it's weird because this has been happening lately. Not that, but where people that I have no idea, and I would never think out of the blue that they would show up to come to a show. And because I told you, a few weeks ago that a guy I went to high school with showed up down at in La Crosse, and I'm like, I would never even imagine that. And then Andrea's telling me, she says, I was telling him, I know the headliner. I'm like, what the fuck?
His tongue has been in this mouth.
That's literally how she's introducing herself. Hi, I made it with the headliner. He's put his tongue in my mouth. That's one way of putting it, I guess. Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, it was to say the least. It was fun to go down there and do that, even though it was I mentioned to you, there were 7 people on the show.
That's a lot of
which is too many when 2 of them are almost exclusively masturbation joke specialists.
Yeah.
But just every car ride those two have together, they're just like, so wait, how do you do it? No, wait, how do you do it? Have you ever tried it this way?
Do you have any jokes that are about the size of your wiener?
We're gonna whack off. All right.
It becomes the cornholio.
You know what's worse than sex jokes? Masturbation jokes. I need some pee for my bunghole.
Dude, how great was that show? Like, when
did you happen to see the Saturday Night Live?
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. We talked about it.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we?
But like the actual Beavis and Butthead show when it first came out, like how great was it?
Oh, it was awesome.
You know what I mean? Like I remember going to that movie. And
yeah,
this is hilarious.
Ha ha ha! Where are the loose sluts? Ha ha.
And now it's just like, man, it didn't take much to entertain back then.
The dumbest shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was the whole thing because you didn't want to run like long shows on MTV. This is, before obviously they were commercials and, kind of fitting in some stuff here and there between music videos, basically. So, yeah, that makes sense. Mike Judge is also fucking a brilliant genius. Fucking Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill. Fuck yeah, dude.
Office Space.
Office Space, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's some other shit or whatever, but those are for sure 3
Extracts.
That one with Jason Bateman, is that what you were talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yeah, we were in Algona, and the show itself was great, and thankfully, Shanky Boy was okay. But ladder match was crazy. It really was. It was a little cold out. Wasn't a lot of heat inside that building.
Initially, once you got some people in there,
it got fine. It got a little better once the show went on. But yeah, no, it was a nice new venue, and I guess we're going back 2 more times.
Any surprises in any of the matches?
Prentice and Death Dealer got escorted to the ring in the sheriff's car.
Yep.
Yep.
Got dropped out. Well, because they're dangerous men, apparently. So
because he's the Death Dealer, he deals death. He's a murderer.
I mean, he should have been arrested a long time ago if you're really thinking about it. But
you make a deal and then you spin the wheel, and in many cases it's death.
That sounds like a serial killer's game right there. Just putting that out there. No, I guess the one surprise there was for sure a surprise. We had the mystery opponent for Victor Payne. Alvin Gray was the man who showed up, and that was actually a pretty damn fine match. I'm not gonna lie. I mean the back and forth that they had. I mean it was just it really helped top out the night.
Alvin's a Winona, Minnesota guy.
Oh, really?
He is.
Interesting.
Didn't know there were any there.
Well, there's guys there.
Wrestlers.
Oh.
What the fuck do you think I was? JR.
JR's just on his own level right now.
He's just in his own world with the Bears. No waterfalls, though. They're just chilling.
Well, Tina was in St. Paul on Sunday. What the fuck is going on in St. Paul on Sunday?
They'll pan around and show the water.
I don't know if it was in St. Paul, but I know they had that sports card convention thing with Flair and Tyson and someone else this weekend.
That's what Norden the Grappler were at prior to or during. That's the reason.
That's why the show on Saturday was so late for them to start. Was because they had to finish up the card convention stuff. She met Flair.
How much?
How's his breath, Tina?
Smells like penis.
Smells like a guy who's been a jet flyer and limousine riding for a long time.
I'm just curious what his breath smells like. That's all.
Because you just see those wonky teeth, and you're just like, this guy has to have the worst fucking gingivitis.
As much as I Flair's one of those guys, that he is so iconic, but he's this roller coaster ride of. Well, he didn't talk. He probably didn't talk much, Tina, because his breath probably smells like cat shit tacos.
$80 for a picture, and he didn't talk much. Well, that seems. I mean, it is Ric Flair now. It's not like he was probably good with money ever, or has never been good with money. But when you make it, you got to spend it, baby. Otherwise, it just goes to waste in a bank account, and you can retire comfortably. What the fuck is that?
Was there anybody else noteworthy there, Tina?
Yeah.
Oh, there's the waterfalls.
See?
There they are.
That's all the Bears, too, by the way.
What?
That's all the Bears, too, by the way, if you can't.
Okay.
They're all fucking over the place.
Shitload. You see the thing about the people who took the little bear cub out the tree to take selfies with it?
No. I hope they got eaten.
Fucking assholes, dude. Like, people suck. Like, I guess they just saw it in a tree, so they took it, like, literally picked it up out of the tree and just started all taking selfies with it. Just a wild bear cub in his tree, like, chilling.
It's a weird thing to do.
I don't know, man. I'd probably pay the $130 for Tyson over Flair just because I'd want to be like, dude, smoke some weed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be hilarious. Smoke Mike Tyson's.
I would just
and then just hear him talk.
Yeah.
Like, not talk like because of the voice, but like, I just want to hear him tell stories.
Yeah.
I remember him at WrestleMania 28 because he got put in the Hall of Fame that year. Dude was at Axis and he was so hype. So he literally just started like running around the convention center, just high-fiving people.
Oh, wow.
Like, he was just so pumped that he was like at WrestleMania week. He ended up doing like a flash mob dance with fucking Timbaland and some people by the ring.
Wow.
Yeah, we were in line for something else, so we didn't actually see it. But dude, he was doing photo op, and like everyone who went up there, he just had the biggest smile on his face. He's fucking laughing. He's just time of his life.
Well, I tell you what, he's getting in the best shape of his life currently right now. Holy shit. Have you seen some of the videos he's been posting? Getting ready for the Jake Paul fight?
What's the thing? Like, I heard that they're wearing headgear. Is that true?
I don't know if they're wearing headgear, but it's 2-minute rounds. If Tyson knocks him out in the first round, he doesn't make any money, which what a weird stipulation. Oh, can you go an extra couple minutes? Yeah.
So wait. If Tyson knocks Paul out, he makes zero money in the first. Like, if you're Tyson, wouldn't you just be like, motherfucker, I don't need you.
I don't need the money. Boom.
I mean, I'd rope a dope like a motherfucker. Like, I'll let you get some points. I'll let you win the first round. I don't give a fuck. But he's coming back so quick, man. I swear.
If he does it, it's like if he does it. Oh, what were you gonna say? I feel like we're gonna say the same thing.
No, I was just gonna say, man, he looks like if he never would have stopped boxing in the first place, if he would have never like semi-retired, this guy would have had so many more fucking titles. He would have probably dropped weight just to go fuck up Mayweather and shit like that, dude. This dude is bad. He is back to be the baddest man on the planet, dude. For like no joke.
Like, if he doesn't knock Paul out first round just because he can, and does dick around just to get the paycheck, I mean, it can't go more than 5 seconds in the second round. Like, he has to come out one punch, knock him out. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. He's done a lot. The Paul brothers, I mean, he's done a lot of these fights where it's like guys that you're like, okay, this is a legitimate fight. He's going to lose. And then he doesn't. This is the one where it's like, fuck, man, you can't soil Tyson's name with this fucking circus show. You know what I mean? Like, this needs to be a legit fight, and Tyson, you know what I mean? Like, if this is just some fucking show, like all these other ones have been, it's just gonna suck. It's gonna suck. But there's also a rumor that he is about to join WWE as well, Paul, the other one. So, you know, maybe he does get his ass knocked out, and then he's like, all right, I'm done. Then the Paul brothers tag team. It's going to happen, boys. It's going to happen, and they're going to have the tag titles.
Too much stuff.
Probably. I mean, I see. For me, I can't really get mad at either one of those guys because they both proved themselves to actually be decent athletes. Jake Paul's like a lot of the guys he's fought are, especially when he started off, he wasn't, Rashad Evans was not a boxer, and you can tell by how his stance was. Like he was looking for maybe going for the takedowns and shit like that. It's like, yeah, you're definitely an MMA/wrestling guy. Like how to get this guy to the ground, but you can't do any of that stuff. So his, work was all off because MMA is way different. Kickboxing is even way different than regular boxing. You had to have that stance ready to be able to throw some kicks and stuff. But I don't know, man. Jake Paul, God bless you. And you're going to get fucking paid off the fucking pay-per-view. But my God, dude, like you might have a traumatic brain injury after this shit, man. Because Tyson's hands they're so fucking quick now. And again, he just threw fucking bricks, man. Like, I mean, my God. And the only reason he ever really lost, no joke, is because Don King fucked up his head so many fucking times as far as like the mentality of the game and shit like that, and would just ridicule him. Like when your self-respect and your self-esteem is at an all-time low, you don't have a fucking reason to go into those fucking fights and actually try. You're just going in there like, I guess I'm fucking worthless, so I'm just going to take the paycheck and hope to God maybe somebody loves me. But no, man, like
look at them fish jumping.
So fucking bad, dude.
They jump right into the bears' mouths.
Oh, that's so great.
The bears' mouths.
Yeah, dude, Tyson's gonna win it for him and the pigeons, and it's gonna be amazing. Let's talk about this though. Let's talk about the shitty Minneapolis mayor. Now he's about to cost the city billions of dollars because of some stupid Lyft and Uber shit.
Yeah. That's what we're hearing is when Nick Khan was asked as far as, is Las Vegas in the running for 51 or 41, excuse me. And, oh yeah, they're definitely the finalists, and basically kind of proving that Minneapolis lost it, and mostly because of losing rideshare as a whole.
Well, and that's not even like the Nick Khan thing isn't even really it. Taker over the weekend is what put the fucking nail in the coffin when he said, "Oh, I heard Vegas next year. Oh, maybe I wasn't supposed to say that." That's the fucking nail in the coffin, and the only thing it could have been because we even talked about, well, maybe they'd pull out because of Brock not being involved. Well, that's apparently not a thing. They're open to him coming back anytime.
Yeah.
B, it'd be hard to switch everything just for the one guy, especially when the steam you have coming into that last Mania, you're going to be able to get some storylines that have legs that can make it to next year's already, and they're going to sell the tickets itself. So it does. It comes down to you just took the easiest, most accessible way for tourists to get around the city that week when they're going to be going to a million different places between WWE events, city events, WrestleCon events, restaurants, hotel, everything. You just took the only event that can make the money that the NFL Super Bowl can make, and you just cost your city that kind of money because of you want to protect an Uber and Lyft drive. Those fuckers know what they signed up for.
And the thing is that it's bullshit.
They also get the luxury of they can work whenever they want. They can log in, they can log right back out, they can log back in. They know what they signed up for. It ain't your place. It ain't the city's place to step in on that. And again, now you just cost the city billions of dollars in revenue.
Well, and the way I always feel about it is you can't deny people the ability to work, right? And that's really what this really is, because when you make the $15 minimum wage and you say, okay, if they work inside the city of Minneapolis, they got to make $15 an hour. But then the ruling they had on that, then initially after passing that was, the rate goes up with inflation. So right now it should be about $15.62 or something like that, technically with inflation per hour. But when you break it down per rate of driving per hour they work, I mean, some of these guys are literally just going from where I live on the North Metro area down to the airport or down to Mall of America, and that's their only thing. That's the only thing they're really doing. They're bypassing Minneapolis or bypassing St. Paul. They're just going through them, but that's their main source of revenue is just back and forth from South Metro to North Metro and just doing that. And then that doesn't even fall into the fact. I mean, other than you're driving through it, but to use all their rates and just say, oh, well, they're only making about $15.45 an hour on average. Like, yeah, but if they drive for 10 minutes and make a $20 rate, and then you just say, oh, and then they're just done for the night. Okay, well, how the fuck do you count that then? Or you're not counting in their tips either, which you're supposed to do if you look at all the restaurants and bars, they have to include at least some kind of tips towards their pay. So then that's why you have it as a gig economy, because again, Ace, you're right. They know what they signed up for. They know it's their vehicle getting worn down. It's their money they're getting in their pocket. They may not make a lot based off of per rate and delivery, but
Yeah, I did DoorDash for a full year. And you know what? Some nights were fucking great.
Yeah.
And I made some good money in a few hours. And some nights were not. And I didn't make money. And I wasted 3 hours sitting around waiting for fucking orders. But the other thing too, though, is I didn't do it enough that I would take every order. Like if the order wasn't like a $6 guaranteed me paid, I wouldn't do it. Because, I mean, with DoorDash, you know how many fucking people would be getting like McDonald's DoorDash and then they would tip you like 38 cents. And it's like, okay, clearly you were not the person who should be using this app. Because first of all, you're door dashing fucking McDonald's. There's one like every 10 minutes from you. Just walk. B, again, if you can't afford to tip the person that's bringing your food with all the extra fees that they throw on to make it delivery, then you shouldn't be ordering from it. You know what I mean? But like that's the thing. Like, I didn't bitch about it. I didn't complain about it. And the funny part is like, so with my full-time job, I have clients, and one of the clients' family members reached out to me because they were in a Lyft this week here in town in Rochester, and the Lyft driver was telling him that, oh yeah, we're not going to be doing this anymore. And she's like, is that true? I didn't think. And I'm like, no, that's not true. It is only Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Or just all the Twin Cities, because obviously you can't go through the towns and shit like that without this being a problem. But no, it's funny you actually bring up like DoorDash. I would encourage everybody to go back and watch Last Week Tonight on YouTube when John Oliver covered like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, excuse me. And basically all these things just they don't make money. Yeah, the companies don't make money. The drivers really don't make all that much money. Like it's all kind of a wash, and you just do it because you are making a little extra money, or you pick and choose. And they use an example where one person picks up a slice of cake in Manhattan and then goes to fucking Queens or something like that, or the Bronx with this one slice of cake and doesn't get a tip. And the funniest thing about it to me was, I mean, a slice of cake, just one slice of cake, you're going through some shit. But if anything, if you're going through some shit, you should still tip. And honest to God, even that, my expectations for Uber and Lyft are so low right now. Basically, if I don't die, you get 5 stars and probably $7 to $8 on a fucking tip. Like, just don't fucking kill me, because some of them are real bad drivers and they don't test for that shit. So basically, if I don't die, thanks so much. You got me to my door. Awesome. My shit's still here. Fantastic. You have a great night. Please be safe out there, because oh my God.
Check this out. So since 2016, WrestleMania has generated more than 1.2 billion in cumulative economic impact for the cities that have hosted the event. Over 1.2 billion. Was fucking trying to stick your nose again. City sticking its nose, because again, too, this shouldn't be a city thing.
No,
like these are employment laws. These should be either like whatever it is, state or nationwide. But like, you just lost over $1 billion because of some dumbass idea you had. I really want to hear from the mayor when this is finalized and hear like him say, "I don't regret it," because I want to be the one to be like, "Bullshit."
Jacob Fry is a bit of a moron, though. If you really want to put his record out there, he's made some real dumb decisions, and not to get too political about it, but when it comes down to a whole police precinct was burned to the ground under your watch, and you somehow got elected or reelected. I don't know, man. Like,
and they still haven't rebuilt it.
No, and they probably never will because
or relocated it.
Yeah. So again, that's his track record right there, and this kind of bullshit again with that city council being what it is it's not impressive work. You're not really helping anybody that you want to help. All you're doing is just sticking your nose where it doesn't fucking belong into people's back pocket, basically. Oh, well, we want to make sure everybody's getting the correct wage and that we see the taxes off of that. It's like, you fucking assholes, man.
And that's the worst part. Worried about getting that extra tax money off that. What dipshit, you just gave away over $1 billion for 1 week's worth of hosting people.
Well, I will say this. These obtuse people on the Minneapolis City Council, they didn't think about WrestleMania at all. They're not thinking about that at all when they do this with the minimum wage. And that's basically, well, we want to make sure that they get the minimum wage. But the thing that's irritating more than anything else is the state did a study and it was going to be released, and they raced in order to pass this. They didn't want to see what the state had to say.
Of course.
And because this is the kind of idiots that are running a place. But the thing is, they did that a long time ago, Stephen, didn't they? Encrypt the channels. It's been going on for quite a while.
Minneapolis is also trying to get rid of the Nextdoor app. So you can't fucking talk to your neighbors to see what the fuck's going on in your neighborhood anymore. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Here's the thing, though. The state has the ability to override the city of Minneapolis's thing. It's going to be too late.
Yes.
Well, so here's the deal, though.
Crime Watch.
There has also been, I think that is being held in mind with the WrestleMania situation as far as on WWE's end, because I have read reports that if Vegas gets it this year, there is still a shot that Minneapolis would get it the year after.
Mm.
They are coming here in July for Raw at XL, which gives them plenty of time to come during the day and make those meetings that they got to make to be like, did you figure the shit out yet?
And the answer will probably be no.
But that's the unfortunate part is I do think by summer, like when they come back, that's when they're going to want to be like, okay, hey, Vegas gets it. But if you want 42, this needs to be fixed. But the other thing is, too, I do think the governor will step in. Like, I do think the state's going to step in. They have to. Like,
but it needs to be sooner rather than later. It needs to be done before really the end of this month.
But you guys, the thing is, the governor can't do it. The state has to make law to do it. I think most of them are willing to do it, but it's the process. It doesn't happen overnight, unfortunately. Uber and Lyft pulled out of one other market. They pulled out of Austin, Texas. And the reason they pulled out was because in Austin, they were pushing for fingerprint identification for all Uber and Lyft drivers, which I don't know how big a deal that is, but regardless, Uber and Lyft said, we're not fucking doing it and we're leaving. And then the Texas state legislature overrode that thing that the city of Austin put in, and then they came back. The city of Minneapolis has also pushed it off again. I mean, initially it was April 1st, then it was May 1st. Now they pushed it back to July 1st. Yeah. And it's like, they know they've fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just hoping that somebody will save them and make them not look so fucking stupid.
Well, and here's a byproduct or something that's going to be possibly worse for even some of the talent is the fact that we have yet to see Tiffany Stratton and Gable Steveson make their WrestleMania debuts. And the talk is that 41 would be a perfect place for them to do it because it's their home state. You know, Gable being from Apple Valley, Tiffany Stratton being from Prior Lake. that would have been a great way. And then you could have had Brock's farewell. Now, if you push it back a whole year, do you want to have all that stuff going down? Because now Tiffany is going to be well past when she's going to have to make her WrestleMania debut next year because she's just too good. And there's too many fans calling for.
They may still have Gable, though.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I honestly don't see him being on Mania 41. He's still not even at the Performance Center.
Right.
Well, he's got a long road before he's at Mania.
Well, it sounds like because he might push for Paris or whatever.
He's doing the Olympics. Yeah. But he also went back to another year of college or some shit. Like he has put this off quite a bit because he signed over 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to the Performance Center for a bit. Left, hasn't been back since. So they're gonna have to do a lot with him. It kind of also sounded like he wasn't taking to it at the Performance Center maybe that first run. So it's always that thing.
Well, sometimes it does take a little bit. Again, as I mentioned, even with the boxing stuff, sometimes going from real wrestling where, okay, I can treat this guy like a rag doll because fuck him. But also,
but that means 42 could happen here and he could make his debut then. So there's still that. But the other thing too is they don't need a Minnesota talent to debut to have Mania here. The history here is enough to bring a Mania here.
Well, especially with how many what was the Wrestle Rock? Was the AWA thing that they used to have at the Dome? I mean, it's right there on the same site. Come on, man! It's the eternal home of Wrestle Rock. Let's make it a Wrestle Rock WrestleMania.
Well, then just
bring back Larry Zbyszko.
Fuck Larry Lane, baby. I mean, just so many of WWF's major talent back then came through AWA. So it's there's just a lot of history up there. I mean, Flair's one of the best in the world, whether we like it or not. I just wish he would have went away, 10 years ago.
Think how many people came out of Robbinsdale.
And that's just it,
Yeah.
So
John Nord, we could always, we could talk to John Nord. Get him and Barry Darso and, tell us some old stories about Kurt Hennig and Rick Rude and stuff,
Molly Holly is a Minnesota resident.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Still
true.
Water.
Which also...
I don't know if that's where she is now.
She'll be at the first wrestling show at Treasure Island in May, which we're going to go. We just haven't bought our tickets.
The fuck?
Well, how many of us are going? Is Devin coming with us?
Yeah.
JR, is your son coming?
Nope.
No? Okay. So there's at least
they are doing all kinds of shit. Do you see that? They're doing bowling and a comedy show Friday night now.
Yeah.
And then the show Saturday.
Now, is the bowling a fundraiser thing? Because I only go bowling with professional wrestlers if it's for charity.
Did not appear to be, but they should.
Still
and then I don't remember. I know it's Colt, but I don't remember who else was doing that with him. Was it him and Hornswoggle and somebody?
Yeah, Swoggle. Actually, I think I still have this up. Hold on. I think I can. Yeah, I still have the Treasure Island up here. Let's see. Events. Where are we at? Events. You suck. Damn you, Treasure Island.
Sounds like a good event.
So what? What are you saying now?
You said you suck after you said events, and I said that sounds like a good event.
Yeah. Get up. Where the fuck did it all go? Yeah, whatever. Actually, I don't know what the fuck happened to it. I had it up earlier, but I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, Cole Cabana and Swoggle for sure, and then there's another jackass or something on that show. Friday night comedy. You want to see wrestlers do comedy? May 17th down there at Treasure Island. In their whatever room. Not their main event room, but anyhow. That's Hot Streak, May 18th there at Treasure Island for the first wrestling. It's been a while since we've all gone to a first wrestling show, though. Has it been since the All America?
Yeah.
Was it, or did we do one more Palooza after that?
No, I'm pretty sure that was the last time. Oh, the three of us were all at a first.
When we were all, yeah, we were all three. We did the mall was in. Was that in the spring?
No, it was a fall show.
Was it fall?
Yeah, I think that second weekend in September.
A lot of dead air, babies.
It's not my fault. I'm looking at a website.
Can't
man,
they speak?
They got golf and stay packages.
That's what you guys ought to do.
Say what?
That's what you guys ought to do.
Do what?
Golf and
Go
stay?
up there and golf at that Mississippi National.
Yeah, that or Frontenac's a little closer to, and it's their partner. Frontenac's their partner golf course for TI. Yeah, me and some buddies are going to probably do that later this summer because we got free rounds of golf at Frontenac.
That's nice.
Pretty pissed off though. I have a nice golf weekend coming up this weekend, but Friday already looks like it's out as far as rain. So Saturday ain't looking great either.
The Parlay event, live music and sports,
which I believe Parlay is free.
Should be, unless there's something going on.
Anyways,
like
did you guys
event.
watch Dynasty? I did not.
I did.
I did too. I was not going to. I was because I thought the Timberwolves were going to be on. So I kind of wanted to watch the. I mean, I was listening on Alexa before we came on as they started, and I'm excited for the Timberwolves because I used to be a huge basketball fan, and then I gave up on the whole thing. But now it's kind of exciting because they're doing well. But when I found out it wasn't on, I ended up buying it, 20 minutes before it started. I'll be honest with you, for not following everything as much as I have in the past with AEW, it was a really good pay-per-view.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I did a watch along with Mike on our new show, which is called Wrestling Psych, where we talk about psychology of wrestling and the things that go along with that. But anyhow, I accidentally had posted it through StreamYard, doing it live on X, where I said live stream AEW Dynamite. So I'm sure we got some eyes on there that thought that we were genuinely just broadcasting it over onto X. Whoops. So instead of seeing that, they got to see myself and Mike just talking about it.
And probably had a lot of 10-second views.
Possibly, but we had about 300 interactions just that one night. So whatever. And if you don't pay for StreamYard, by the way, you can only broadcast over to one other thing. So so that was the choice was to go to Twitter or to X, and I don't know if it worked or not. I don't know if we got any followers or anything like that, but
we can go back and over and look.
Yeah, I mean, it was good though. I think that main event was a little underwhelming as far as
the match of the night in my mind was Ospreay and Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and honestly, holy crap, it was so good, and with everything, even the ending with the neck injury, it was just so well done, I thought.
Oh, 100%. They both got their offense in. They both got enough time in the spotlight. I mean, it was really a good match.
The one that I sort of was scratching my head about was having Jericho win the FTW title.
Yeah.
Because it's not a real title.
Well, yeah, but I was scratching my head over it.
So it doesn't matter.
Anyway.
That, and I'm going to just say it. I find no appeal to Hook. I really don't. I don't. To me, yeah, he's got a lot of muscles, but he's like scrawny as fuck compared to the entire roster.
He's kind of like a sullen can't think of it. Juice, Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, except like Orange Cassidy still looks bigger than him.
Oh yeah,
like that's the thing. I am not a Hook fan. I haven't been since day one. I don't see the appeal. I haven't seen anything in the ring that's made me be like, oh my god, he's amazing. You know what I mean? Yeah, his dad was so good, but his dad also had the it was like a technical master where Hook isn't really that. I don't know.
Well, the suplexes and stuff, that's all thing. Like, he's just really going to that bag. The same thing that his dad.
I hate to say it, but that seems like it was the pisser match on the card.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even going into it, everybody kind of knew, like, okay, we're seeing Jericho against Hook. I mean, this is supposed to be a guy you want to put over, right? Is Hook. But apparently he came out the last couple weeks or something like that, said that he's going to explore free agency, Hook is, after this contract is up. I'm like, to fucking where?
Yeah.
I mean,
only place he goes TNA. I mean,
but also in that vein, TNA just got the Hardys back, or at least Matt Hardy, and that's pretty.
Yep.
That's pretty surprising.
Well, and I just, it's one thing AEW hasn't really shown much of, unfortunately, lately, is how good that tag team division could be. But also, the Hardy Boys are on the very tail end of their run. Really, they shouldn't be keeping tag team gold for any amount of time. It would have been nice maybe to see them just get it for the sake of, adding another title to that resume. But hold on, this is not blackface. That is a mask. Even that is a mask. This is not blackface. This is a Aztec tribal mask. And yes, it's so cultural appropriation, but it's Sam Adams who's doing it. I didn't put the mask on him. It's Sam Adams. He's a Vikings fan now. He gave up on the fucking Patriots.
Masks. Those Bears behind me have no masks at all.
Yeah, thanks, JR. We understand that. Fucking fuck. No, but I mean, honestly, that tag team match between FTR and the Young Bucks, it is unfortunate that I think the FTR probably should have gotten the titles. I think that they are more deserving at this point. I think it's a little chaotic with the Young Bucks, but the way they did it, as far as Jack Perry coming in and messing up the match a little bit for FTR or against FTR, which is kind of in the vein of, well, you guys are friends with CM Punk, so if I can't fuck him over, I'll fuck you guys over. So that kind of worked in that respect, especially when he's leaving the arena and flashing the elite sign. So we'll see how that works out. Dynamite's just tomorrow night.
And by the way, also, Tony Storm is fantastic still.
Yeah, are you talking about the press conference or the actual match? Because her match with Thunder Rosa was not bad.
It was not. It was. I enjoyed the match, and the weird thing about it is, because Ace can tell you this, back when Thunder Rosa was really an instrumental part of what NWA Power was before the pandemic. I was a huge Thunder Rosa fan, and I was a huge Thunder Rosa fan until she won. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what it is. There's something about her that if she's not, well, and she ruined their mystique. Like, for me, I don't know that I'll ever be as big a fan as I was prior to her winning. But anyway, Tony Storm is just awesome, and the whole thing. The press conference was awesome. Every press conference she does is hilarious. She is right now in her element. One of the best things that's going on AEW. The other women's match, super disappointed that Willow Nightingale won over Julia Hart. only to bring back the the fact that she broke Mercedes Monet's leg in New Japan, and it's like, okay, I mean, that's nice, but it's like, can't you just do it without the belt?
Well, and I thought with that match, actually, especially because Statlander showed up before the match, came out with her and stuff. And if we're going to see Forbidden Door in Long Island, both of those two are Long Island residents, or at least, hometown on Long Island. So I think that where you could have told that story between Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander, if one of them was to turn after this or during that match or whatever. But I think this really downplays what Julia Hart was able to do with that title. Actually really make it her own, add it to the persona that is Julia Hart in the House of Black. Because I feel like they all lost momentum. House of Black did. I mean, they still won their trios match, but as a whole, it felt like them losing a title is now kind of rolling them back a little bit. Yeah. It's not as good as it could be.
Well, I feel like AEW as a whole, once you drop a title, that kind of means you're going back to the beginning of the line. So, like, it does kill the momentum for a lot of these people, which is why I wish AEW would do longer title reigns for some of these other titles.
Correct.
To just let the worker work, man. Like, okay, we get it. You have a shitload of people in your locker room. Kind of your fault, Tony Khan, for fucking getting sign happy and apparently still sign happy. Like, you got enough people, you could fucking do television for like 4 different products at this point. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Put them to work, man. Use these good people. Don't, like, that's the thing. You see some of these people come in and it's like great for a month or two, and then all of a sudden it's like, where the fuck did they go? Just let these champions hold these titles a little longer, man. Let them tell some stories.
Well, and I think even the idea that Kazuchika Okada is the Continental Crown champion, and that was a hell of a match between him and Pac, by the way, too. Yes. Like that really was a hell of a match, and so all the respect in the world for those two guys to be in that ring. And really just almost no real breaks in action outside of that Hook and Jericho match. But again, I think that was kind of why that was maybe booked. It's like, okay, we got to give people a little bit of a reprieve. There's no actual intermission on these shows. So, we got to give them in the arena some time to get away from their seat. But I don't know. And then the boos for Jericho, I think that's kind of a telltale sign right now. I think Jericho in that realm, everybody kind of knows you shouldn't be winning titles at this point, Even if it's an unsanctioned title.
Well, okay, let's not say unsanctioned title. It's literally fake. Like, it's not even a title. Like, it's just fake.
It's
like,
an actual belt.
I get it, but like,
sir, it is an actual title belt. That means it's a real title.
Like, to me, it's just like, you have enough belts already in AEW. Why do you need this made-up title that Taz made up in ECW when it was part of an actual storyline? Right now, it's not. You just brought it back because you have Taz on your roster. That was legitimately the whole thing. It's not serving any purpose. Hook and Jericho could have simply just had that match without a title, and it probably would have been received better, because then if he won, it didn't do no harm. Where people are not happy. But I think the big thing, and I love Jericho, you guys know that, I've always been a fan, but like, I think we are at a point where it's like, just get it. Just you don't need to be in the ring that much anymore, man.
Yeah,
it's done. You had one hell of a career. Don't make me hate you like I hated Sting and Jeff Jarrett and all the other old geezers that are still going in that locker room over there. Please just.
And honestly,
get out, man. Get out.
Yeah.
Or be a manager, be part of the show, but you do not need to be in the ring.
I feel like at this point, and it even looks this way to me when I watch, it almost feels like Jericho is a little bit lost, in terms of he comes out and he has this kind of I don't know, because I know you haven't watched it much, Ace. But Tom, do you agree that he kind of has this sort of snivelly kind of
Is it like
almost?
he's not enjoying it?
Yeah.
Well, maybe not to the fact that he's maybe not enjoying it, but he's now had 2 groups that resulted in only 1 title for him.
Which is fair. I think he knew that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
like, yeah.
They kind of fizzled out, and then no one else is really successful after that. I mean, Sammy Guevara obviously has held titles and stuff, but he's really been the prime one in either the Inner Circle or I guess technically was part of the JAS. But you know, these groups just don't make sense unless he's just a manager. And if he was just a manager, that's fine. And also, we never really got any kind of real conclusion between him and Don Callis. So if Don Callis has his family, why doesn't Jericho go manage a bunch of guys and take on?
Well, because like you said, I think they're done having him involved in groups at this point because they've done it twice. But that's the thing. Like, you have a story there, but because you wasted it on other stupid shit, you're not going to get the story. And that's where Tony Khan needs to give up the booking. That book in the backstage there. Someone else needs to get their hands on that. But I mean, the thing with Jericho is, it's like, if it is what they say backstage and booking wise, where he's basically, there are no real guidelines. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, here's your word. Who do you want to work with? Like, okay, cool. But like, at that point, that's probably where Jericho, I would imagine some of that caliber, is probably trying to be like, oh, you know who I'd like to work with, but he's just not getting that chance now, because it's like, well, no, because we're already pushing them up. So go play with Hook. Because let's be honest, Hook has had a build for a year now, and he hasn't moved up. He just hasn't.
Yeah, the one match with Samoa Joe for the title that was actually pretty decent as far as the time it went, but and they still found a way of making him look strong to, you know, some people would say semi-strong, but
you work with Samoa Joe, you're going to look great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody would disagree with the fact that Samoa Joe is probably one of the best workers of all time with his track record and where he's been and the results of some of those matches. I mean, maybe Dave Meltzer can say otherwise, but the fact of the matter is, Samoa Joe is an absolute fucking worker.
Samoa Joe's an all-timer.
Yeah, but Hook outside of that it's become stagnant. It's not progressing. And you know, you mentioned his size. His dad's not tall. His dad mentioned, like, I used to be 5'9". I'm probably like 5'4" now, but you know, I'm sure his mom's not that tall. So, you know, he's got a good build. But again, what do you do with that outside of, you know, just it's build? So
I mean, I hope they bulk. I don't know. Like you said, like, the thing with Taz is he wasn't that big of a guy height-wise, but he was a solid dude. He was like a mini Bronson Reed. He was he was a fucking piece of, like, just a fucking concrete brick. Like, life.
I mean, exactly. You know when you walk down the ring and you're all the way down the ring. I mean, you are.
And then you're the technician master, right? So you're using this big body to fucking just hook and choke people out.
Yeah, the Taz mission and everything like that. I mean, literally was a guy who just could do a lot of things in that ring very, very well. He was not going to go flip around even for a guy who was shorter, not necessarily smaller, obviously. But, and I don't know, like Hook's physique should fit better for doing some aerial stuff, but I get, you know, that's not for everybody. I understand that, but it's going to be really interesting to see where he might end. And I think, Mike, you might be right as far as maybe NXT again. As I mentioned, if he's going to try out free agency, it's going to be probably the most likely step outside of TNA.
Or Japan. Send him to Japan. Let him get his ass kicked over there for a while.
They'd probably dig him actually over there.
I don't know, man. He just looks like a fucking middle schooler who took steroids. Like, I don't know, man.
Baby Hercules.
Yeah, bro. It's crazy. Like, it's just. And then they had him standing next to two of the biggest motherfuckers in the locker room with Cage and Hobbs. So then he looks even tinier. Like, you did him no favors.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bugsy, eventually. someday you will see MJF go to WWE because I believe he'll be a guy who's going to want to conquer all the mountains.
Yeah, and deservedly so. I mean, he's done so well, but for the short term, I think he's still hanging around AEW for. I'm going to guess at least another year, if
I'd say
not
maybe
more.
2. I'd say maybe 2. I bet he'll do a small contract next with them just to kind of run it out, come back big with the big pop from. If they're smart, though, they bring him back and put him back heel. So, like, he'll get the big pop, come back, and in that first promo, he just fucking tears the crowd to shreds.
Well, on that point, not to interrupt you here real quick, but, if you're going to bring him back. If you're going to bring him back, obviously, we did see at the end of that Roderick, and here's another good match, that Roderick Strong Kyle O'Reilly match was fantastic. And, Roderick Strong getting the win, and then Adam Cole comes out and he's walking to the ring. So he comes out in the wheelchair, walks down to the ring, but obviously he glares and just stares through Wardlow as he gets in the ring. Wardlow saying that he's not going to relinquish his title shot to anybody. So I think that's where this might have to go, is MJF maybe gets involved with that. And obviously he does not give two shits about Wardlow. Wardlow has gone on his own way and shit like that. But yeah, I think you're right. Maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years at most. I mean, honestly, just to make sure you get your max money kind of thing, because who knows? This is a pretty substantial injury he's coming off of, as far as with the shoulder and the knee combo. So I could say he could go into WWE 3 years from now. It could still be 2, but I don't think it's a long-term contract. Nothing more, really, 3 years. In my opinion, it could all be fucking kayfabe, and he could have been signed for the next fucking 10 years. Who knows?
I mean, ultimately, if Cody continues to carry that belt,
I mean, they had a prime opportunity. I mean, you have a match. Like, I was almost hoping that's what was going to happen on Sunday night at Mania, especially with him bringing Triple H and Bruce and everybody out.
Yeah,
like, just how great would it have been if he did all of that to just all of a sudden have that didn't. Like, fucking just hit, and the fucking just place goes nuts, just fucking nuts.
Well, especially considering that part of the coast is, Philly is not too far from Long Island.
That's his fucking stomping grounds. And then with Cody, with the fucking history, because I think that's another thing. I think the feud with him and Cody could have been so much better.
Mm-hmm.
It really started out hot. I just felt like they kind of then just did the match and it was done. And it's like, you had, again, this is where I feel Tony Khan is not needs help booking. Is he's really good about starting something, but then when he ends it, and it's like, bro, some of these stories have legs. Let them keep going. You can get 3-4 matches, stipulation matches on your pay-per-views. People are gonna buy them. This is how you make money in this business, bro. Like, I don't get why you would just end this shit. Like, the Wardlow MJF thing still pisses me off. That thing just farted out. It just farted out. It just fizzled. And there was so much potential there.
Mm-hmm.
You could have made Wardlow a star. You didn't.
Yeah.
And now look at him. That was his moment.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I think, I mentioned this too, even in that Wardlow and MJF match. You could tell MJF is just doing this to get it over with. He took all those fucking power bombs, and also he took them in the fucking worst way. He was like throwing his arms back. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, MJF, you know better, man. Like, don't throw your arms back like that. You're gonna hurt your fucking shoulder, your elbow, and stuff. But yeah, I think that had potential, because MJF could have fucking skirted the whole thing, or Wardlow could have just done the same things that MJF did to Cody when Cody won his opportunity at MJF. Like, oh, well, you gave Cody some lashes to be able to get to you. So, I'm going to screw you out of some matches here. So, if you really want to go at it, what's your punishment? What do you need to do to go through to get to me?
See, and that's the thing. You build a story up so high where you did all these things that he did to Cody to just get him to have that opportunity at the title, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then But like at a certain point, you got to that story has legs now because now because I don't remember, did Cody lost, didn't he?
To MJF?
Yeah.
Yes, with the low blow.
Okay. So then you definitely have more than enough reason to let that story keep running because Cody, he needs to come up over on him, and then on top of that, like you just put this man through like torture, and he gets no revenge. He doesn't get to fuck with him for a little bit. Like when you think back to like the 80s, the 90s, the Attitude Era, and WCW, and Nitro, like those storylines is what sold the pay-per-views, and those things. I mean, they would let it run if it was good. And man, again, the potential is there, and the stories start out good.
And sometimes they would let stuff run to their detriment too.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But having said that, I'd rather have it go longer than too short.
Well, and to cheap the story that these two performers can tell us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's part of the problem over there. And this is, I think we could have had something very special if Tony Khan would have stayed backstage away from all this shit. You let your EVPs, who you initially gave the power to anyways, because they're the ones who really got this done.
Yes.
By booking the all-in pay-per-view, the original one, and getting that to, 12,000 people went through the gates or something like that there?
And on top of that, the lead-in and a lot of the build was done on being the elite. So really, they were also writing their own TV going into that independent pay-per-view.
Yeah. And you put the producers around you, the guys who have experience. I mean, again, they had Dean Malenko from the start. I mean, that's a guy who knows how to tell a story because Dean Malenko is not the most outgoing Malenko there's ever been. We know Joe, clearly the most outgoing of those two brothers, but Dean can tell a story. You get a guy like Jerry Lynn in there who's maybe your more personality guy. Billy Gunn is a producer. People forget that stuff, Yeah, Tony Khan can't book. I mean,
the thing with Tony Khan is he's a fanboy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta think that if we had his resources, we might not do everything 100% right because we might get all giddy about shit and decide, oh my God, I really want to do this. And whatever. I mean,
it's like what Tom said though. He runs this company that initially started off of just this fucking indie stable.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. And as soon as he took all that indie stable power away after AEW was up and running and they just had titles now, but basically all that was gone and it was his show. That's where you started seeing like holes and things being kind of wonky, endings of stories that are kind of weird, and we know people have talked about WWE's fan attendance in arenas for the last fucking 15, 20 years. And whenever there's an empty house show or something, you're going to see it online. Well, I mean, those are those indicators that you got to change, right? And that's where you're starting to slowly see this starting with AEW, where they're not necessarily filling every house they go to anymore, and they're booking some of these bigger arenas, and they can't do half of it. I was reading today that apparently they were advertising Des Moines, a Dynamite in Des Moines, with an on-sale date and everything already, and someone was saying as of today, it's still not listed on the Wells Fargo Arena stuff. It's still not on AEW.com, like all this stuff, yet the sale is supposed to be like tomorrow or Thursday or some shit is when they were supposed to go on sale. Yeah, so it's things like that. Like what's happening there?
Well, isn't Jeff Jarrett in charge of live events?
Well, and honestly, that's actually something because TNA was not good at doing live events. They were.
I met Jeff Jarrett at the after party of a TNA house show in Rochester, and dude was kind of a dick.
Right. But also, I mean, I'm just saying most of the TNA success came when they were doing Universal Studios. When they were first on, out past their pay-per-view go or start, and they were on FS or the Fox Sports Network somewhere in there, So that's where I'd see them Fridays at 4:00 Central Time or whatever, and I'm watching it. I'm like, I don't know what the 6-sided ring is, but it's really cool where they have entrances on each side of the arena for the good guys and the bad guys. Like, that's pretty fucking cool. So it was a different thing, but also, their success really grew from only a studio show, really.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, they signed Hogan. That was a turning point. Additionally, a good turning point. 2 weeks later.
Well, when they said that they're going to fucking go up against and make another Monday Night War.
Yeah, like, when they wanted to run Mondays, it was like, okay, Hogan ain't the guy then, guys. Hogan.
Well, and Jeff Jarrett, booking shows, booking arenas with a roster that you have for AEW and the money you have for AEW, that shouldn't be that fucking hard. You should be able to draw as the number 2 company. So,
where are you at, Bugsy? Just out of curiosity, where are you at? Because that would, not that it'd have any bearing. I firmly believe this. Anytime you have one of these promotions and they come close, if you haven't been to it, you owe it to yourself to go and give it a. Oh, you are in Des Moines, Bugsy. Okay.
Shit, Bugsy. How are we not seeing any of the Madhouse or Absolute shows, man?
We don't know. We might see him. We might have seen him.
Well, be a fucking fan. Come up and say hello. Say you're Bugsy and stuff like that. We'll give you one of these fancy patches or some stickers or some shit.
Stickers and magnets and
oh my,
all sorts of shit. But
you can always just go get your own swag off our website.
Here's the thing, Bugsy. I would if they do come to Des Moines, I definitely would go watch it.
Yeah. Well, and I tell you what, too, Bugsy, we know of a couple shows that are going to be in the Des Moines area that aren't indie, but they're going to be worth checking out. So make sure you keep tuning in because we're gonna have news on those coming up.
Well, and even some of our Iowa friends, like Gable and Gable Galileo, Max Chill, and Jackson King, all made their way down to St. Louis for Dynasty.
And AK-47.
Oh, was they there?
You got a thing against AK?
I don't anymore.
You seem to always like fuck with him, man. What's up?
The guy's he's got to get chopped. He's got to chop you just to make.
You don't want him to chop you now. Dude, put on how many pounds since he chopped you last?
Dude, he's gained at least 10 pounds of muscle. I swear to God, the young man, this young gentleman, is putting on the work in the gym. Do we still have that video? Do we want to just fucking play that just so people know what the fuck we're talking about here?
All I know is AK-47. If you don't know who he is, check him out because he's putting the work in. He's been grinding this last year.
Yeah, he had a hell of a matchup on Saturday.
Yeah, it's on here. I got it.
You got it?
Code it.
Break. Yeah, he had a hell.
Oh! Woo! Uh-oh! Oh! Oh! Get in there, Justin. All right. Justin, the camera only has a certain amount of time. Get in there. Oh! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Oh, no!
We apologize for Tom's pasty white belly.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry for absolutely fucking nothing. That belly has been built on fucking food and a lot of good times with beer and alcohol. So fuck you, all right? This belly is more than just a dad body. This body was built for taking abuse, apparently.
My God, Bugsy, I got to play this because I don't think you've seen this yet.
Chip inside his head gets switched to ego load, and nobody's gonna get over today. He's gonna make them kiss his throne, and Tommy doesn't understand it. He always thought he should hold the gold, and he can see no grievance, but he's full of weakness. What a reason will he make us grow?
Tell me why
I don't like Tommy.
Tell me why
I don't like Tommy.
Tell me why
I don't like Tommy. I wanna pull The top shelf down.
Most beautiful songs, I think.
Yeah. Pull that top shelf down. Said no one ever other than that jerk off.
Everybody says it all the time. You're
No one's
one of
gonna-
the most hated sons of bitches there is. Who has a crush on Tom? Nobody.
Yeah, probably not. Probably no one has a crush on me.
I'm
just so unlovable. I'm just the best, but unlovable completely. If you talk to JR, fucking dickhead.
That's not true.
Hold on. Hold on. Speaking of Tovar and speaking of JR, if anybody is in the Minneapolis area this coming Friday at Jelly Bean and Julia's in Coon Rapids, you can see JR, Tovar, and myself performing comedy. It's one of those buildings that has gained its lore over the years as far as different comedy events. The owner of Jelly Bean Julia's, Corey Swap, is a longtime friend of Tovar and myself, and he tried comedy for about a cup of coffee. Didn't do too bad, but his true love is barbecue and music, and then a third is his family, I think, and then fourth maybe comedy. But no, he's a great guy, and I'm excited to be part of the first comedy show there at Jelly Bean Julia's.
This is a total different thing, Tovar, than doing a show. This is a total different thing. I am in pain when I have to be next to Tom and listen to him. I'm literally in pain. And I suffer through this. Oh my
wow,
God.
Dan. Wow. Listen, you don't suffer through this, okay? First of all, because if anything, I'm bringing a little bit of a different mindset to this, okay? All I'm trying to do is make y'all, a little bit more enjoyable. That's why I'm here, is a different perspective and make this show enjoyable.
Unless they've changed the inside of that building totally, I'm sure there are other places that I can sit where I don't have to be next to them.
Yeah, no, you can. They have rearranged it, so instead of where they used to have a stage for comedy, they have actually made a legit big stage for bands, and I mean this is a legit place now. And so it's pushed back by where the door to the patio is. It's back in that corner where they used to have the fucking dartboards in this building. But so it's there now. It's a great setup. It's all state of the art speakers and everything like that. Probably better quality than the last show we had as far as speakers go. No offense to ye old New Hope, but
by the way, Stephen, I just want to make sure you know that you should fuck off.
Oh, look at you talking down to our fucking audience members. How dare you? That's my job.
Okay? No, this is different now because now he's going to be on this show with us.
Well,
see?
I tell you what,
and I just now he's not. He's not audience. Now he's part. Do you understand the difference?
You've been friends with him for a lot longer than I've been friends with Tovar, but also I need you to be nice to him. He is our host.
I know.
On Friday, so
believe me, I will be the nicest to Stephen ever. And I know he was just giving me crap about the chair because you know the story about the chair. I don't have the picture. I mean, it's somewhere, but I ate one little bitty piece too much of a foot long or whatever it was, a party sub, and then the chair broke.
Yeah, Tovar gave me the rundown last time I was
for that
his
little
place.
piece. If I hadn't eaten that last piece,
wow.
See, it's self-deprecating. You gotta love it.
You know, honestly, Tovar, it's not hard to be friends with you. If you grew up like I did, where everybody just tried to roast you, basically, if Tovar had more ginger friends, they'd all be the best of compadres because you grow up as a ginger getting all the fucking heinous names thrown at you, all the stupid fucking, I bet you can't go out in the sun today, huh? Yeah, it's called sunscreen, you fucking idiots. Anyhow, Yeah, but
you see, and all this time, I thought the reason people disliked you had nothing to do with your hair color.
I mean, I don't know. Ace, you're a redhead. How many times you get all those stupid things fucking said to you growing up?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it gets to be almost just unbearable.
The worst for me though is I don't know about you. Do you have any Irish heritage?
Just like a little bit, but it just every St. Patrick's Day, just like fucking clockwork.
Yeah, everyone just oh fucking leprechauns here. Oh, use your barcode.
Well,
You
now
know,
look.
it's the Sandlot, the movie The Sandlot. I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
remember his name, but the catcher, the redheaded, the ginger. I follow him on Instagram because he's fucking hilarious. He has some real fucking funny posts. But he posted one of like being a ginger on there, and he even said he's like, I'm fucking Italian, not even Irish. And it's like, oh God, I feel that so like. And I worked at an Irish saloon, so of course they were like, "Oh, we'll rent the suit if you stand out front." I'm like, I'm your DJ. I have to be inside.
Yeah, the Dublin or whatever up in Duluth, I did the St. Patrick's Day weekend one year. So I think it was St. Patrick's Day was a Friday, and so they didn't even have the open mic that Friday. And then this was Saturday, and first of all, the host up there always has to do way too fucking much. I don't know if it's still the same, but they just have to do way too much. Like literally, I gotta raise the fucking curtain for the fucking projector, turn the projector off, turn down the lights, get up to the fucking stage to actually then do the whole fucking show. I'm like, you fucking. But then as I'm back there doing all this shit, the guys was like, oh, the giant leprechauns here. All right, fucking must be St. Patrick's Day. You're just fucking so hilarious, guy. I haven't heard that shit a million times in my life. Sorry.
Well, this is a little interesting tidbit for you. I'm half Irish. Of course, my hair is not the normal color that it was when I was younger, but it was dark brown hair. But then if I grew a beard, it came in red.
So this is one thing that I knew Andy Matfield used to do a joke about being, oh, my beard is red, so I'm half ginger. And I immediately told him, I go, you got to stop that shit right now, man. Because there's so many people who have red beards because it's your hair, your facial hair is not guaranteed to be the same hair color
right
as on top of your head. So this whole, oh, I'm half ginger. I'm like, yeah, you didn't grow up with all the fucking animosity towards you just because, oh, well, we want to go out and play today in the sun, but you can't. It's like the weird shit that people would say to me, just fucking, oh, like the milkman. You never got called a milkman's kid. You're not really a ginger, okay? I'm sorry. You just aren't. You just aren't.
Was the milk? Did the milkman have red hair?
That's kind of true.
I don't know. I mean, because my dad had dark hair and had darker complexion, and I'm this. So there was my fucking uncle was the first one to call me a milkman's kid.
Did you kick him in the nuts?
Huh?
Maybe your uncle knew something. Maybe your uncle knew something.
Well, he also called me. He was also the first one to call me a fire crotch. And again, a 6-year-old.
Maybe you just misunderstood, and your uncle was like, "The milkman is your father."
I hope not. He was drunk when he said it. So,
well, maybe your uncle was your father.
Whoa, JR. Whoa.
Were these red haired?
No.
Oh.
He had brown hair and also a dark complexion. So. And also, that was my mom's brother. So,
oh well, that would have been gross.
Yeah, but that's what I was like.
Explain a lot about you.
Hey, is that an inbred joke? You fuck. First of all, my father, my mother, and my uncle are all dead. I hate you, JR. None of them can now fucking say anything about this shit.
My dad's dead too. Take a couple of pot shots at him. I don't give a fuck.
I'm not trying to take pot shots. I'm just saying, like. You bring up a story with 3 fucking members of my family, they're all fucking dead. It's like,
did they watch your comedy? Did you kill?
First of all, Ace, hilarious. Fucking hilarious. I know it sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but like...
No, actually, if anybody thinks he's being sarcastic, I've gotten to know Tommy enough in the last 2 years of sharing car rides to Iowa. That was genuine.
Dude, I'll be real fair with you, man. It got hard for me to get home on fucking Sunday morning, dude.
The last bit stretch was a struggle.
Dude, I was trying to give an answer to Ace, and I started just randomly saying shit because it was popping in my head as I'm like fucking falling asleep behind the wheel. Like,
that ain't good.
That trip down 90.
like I could tell it was like kind of when we were getting back into Minnesota, and like I could tell that he was getting tired. So I was just trying to keep conversation going, and like we were talking about. I wish I could remember right now for context, but we were talking about something, and then all of a sudden, just like Tommy was mid sentence, and then just said like "sack," and then just quiet for like 10 seconds, and then finally I was like,
you know what actually was?
What about a sack?
Yeah, no, it was. I for some reason I started talking about like a stud earring or something like that. I was like, it was a fucking stud, and then I was like, and then I realized,
stud,
yeah, my brain kind of came around like that made no sense in the answer you were giving, and then I was like, oh fuck, I am exhausted, man. Like I am
like literally
so fucking done right now.
I literally was like, he was a stud, what? And then Tom was just like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck just happened, man. Like I just lost all train of thought. Like I'm tired.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I mean, it was like I've seen people who have some people when they have migraine headaches, they stutter and they stammer, but then they also just say gibberish. That's what comes out in their mind. They can say it. Like it's a rare form of people who have migraines that happens to. But when it happens, it's hilarious because they think they're having a normal conversation with you, but everything they're saying is just muddled and it's just bad. But at that moment, then my brain was like, okay, we actually do need to fucking wake the fuck up because it's not even to Rochester. We're on 90. I haven't even made it to fucking Austin at this point. So it's still a 40-minute trip, 45 minutes still to get to your place. I'm like, this is, oh boy. Fucking, and the windows are down on my way home. Like it's 30 to fucking degrees from Rochester to home. 30 degrees, windows down. Just
so being
deep breath, fucking keeping the eyes like,
because
we're gonna make it home tonight.
I know. I mean, there's times when we come home and we're both like tired.
Yeah,
but I've not seen Tom like struggle behind the wheel like that before. But it was like, dude. But also like again. Not taking any shots at it or anything, but like the realness of that night was for the first few hours we were there, it was cold as fuck inside that building. You know what I mean? And being out in the cold for that kind of time period, it does take a lot out of you just because and we were also setting up speakers and PA systems and getting everything ready. So I mean, like doing that in the cold just made it more exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I told Tom. Like their bathrooms didn't have hot water because they're just county fairground bathrooms.
Oh, sweet God!
Yeah, so like and the doors were wide open, so like they're freezing, and I'm throwing like ice cold water on my hair so I could put my gel in before the fans started showing, and I'm just like, well, I'm gonna get sick. That's what's gonna happen here. And I have felt like shit since like Sunday, yesterday, today.
Yeah,
feel kind of shitty.
Did you go golfing on Sunday too, or no?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure that didn't help either. But yeah, it's just, and again, we know what we're getting into with a lot of this stuff. But
what time do you end up getting home, Tom?
I came through the doors of my place like right at 2:30, basically. Jeez. Yeah, and that we even talked about it. For us, it's a whole day. This is a whole day of travel and doing the event and then coming home. Like it's a lot. And if I could have loaded my car the night before, maybe, but loading up the day of, it was like, okay, I should have done this last night, but whatever, will be fine. But yeah, it's an extra hour and a half for me to get down to Ace. And then it's still 2.5 hours from his place to Algona, which when you say 2.5 hours, if it's just one way, sure. If like we were going to spend the night, sure. Not terrible. But
plus the fact that you're setting stuff up and you're doing all of that stuff which it again, even if it was an hour and a half plus the 2.5, do a show and then come home, that's a totally different thing than what you guys are doing because you're expending energy doing that show way more than if you were just doing stand up.
Right. Yeah, because it's a whole. I mean, that was the thing. We're doing the live feed with KLGA and KLGZ. I don't know why I'm okay.
Because you love them.
Yeah, hometown radio, home country radio. Anyhow, it was fine, but then all of a sudden we're going through intermission. Badger did an interview with James Jeffries, and then we're recapping the first half of the show, previewing the second half, talking about Steamboat Rock this next week, and I was like, I need to get up and just move around, man. Like the monster is just not doing anything, man. I got to get up and move because I'm not cold per se, but it's also just I already spent a lot of energy, man. And some of that cold when you hit your face, you're like, all right, I'm waking up a little bit, but it does take a lot of energy just to maintain, and then just even out going back to 35 is a bit of a ways too when you really start thinking about it.
Yeah, it felt like it took forever to get to that quick trip.
Yeah. The quick trip in Sheridan.
Forever to get to the Quick Star.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Quick Star. We got to make sure we fucking have this right. If you're in Iowa, Quick Star.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much more you guys got to talk about, but I have got a killer headache right now.
Well, then let's do this. I'm going to pop this quick up here. There you go. If you're in the Minneapolis area,
everybody
Stephen
vote.
Tovar, Tom
Who's
Chilson,
the ugliest on the poster?
John Russell. It's all there. Friday the 26th, 8 p.m. You're going to have to find out how much the tickets are because I forgot.
$10.
$10. We didn't put that on there because Tom didn't give me that information.
Yeah, that's true. It's a fucking steal though when you really get down to it. $10 for three guys who actually like each other and can tell jokes and roast each other. I mean, this could just literally be a three-way roast, and we'd all have a great fucking time. But
nobody better be roasting me. I have an act.
I mean, come on. All right. I have an act too, but also I can still get in a few blows here and there if I need to.
Oh my god!
And Tovar's doing the hosting this time, and I've hosted for him before on a show, so now this is kind of turning around as fair or turnabout as fair play, right? And I guarantee he's gonna fucking give me one of the weirdest intros of all time, which is how I like my intros: is make the weirdest fucking thing you can think of.
Doesn't make any difference. We used to make up shit. Tovar remembers this. We'd make up shit. Well, we learned it from Daryl, but it was always stupid shit like, oh yeah, his grandfather invented the steel pellet. Just dumb shit like that. And it's the same kind of thing. And I don't want to keep you Ace because of your headache, but it's the same kind of shit as Megan Kennedy, who Ace knows, is one of our friends from radio. And Megan Kennedy always said, for when I die, I want to have saved up enough money to get a D-list celebrity to come to my funeral. And so people would say, oh my God, Megan knew Conan? Or whatever. And I'm like, that's a great idea.
You need to brush up on your D-list celebrities.
That's a Nick Swartzen bit too. It's like,
really?
I think it was his where it was all of a sudden like, oh my God, did Nick know John Stamos?
I thought his deal was about having the monkey, but anyway, regardless.
Yeah, it's somebody's act. I don't know.
I'm sure it is. Megan said it. I loved it. And the other thing that she also liked to do is say, like, if you meet somebody and you're going to make up what you do, it has to be extreme enough that people would think, oh my God, but they don't want to look it up. I'm a distant relative to the people that own Hershey's.
Okay, Tovar. Yeah, you can blame whatever happens on me. Yeah. Also, you will be fine. I don't expect more than 5 minutes out of the host anyways.
Everything is based on Tom. Tom's the one that booked it. Tom's the one that fucked it up. The same thing happened with the show I was on with Jeff Larson.
No, well, first of all, let's not put me in the same category as Jeff Larson. First, it's like, that's just number one. And I will talk plenty of shit about Jeff Larson.
I know you will.
Yeah. All right. That guy bought me a drink one time thinking that I was going to get him on a show. Thanks for the drink, asshole. Never will I put you on a fucking show. Ever. I appreciate the drink. It was a good Jack and 70 bought me, so.
Tom didn't even drink it. He just poured it out when you walked away.
He looked him in the eye.
Thanks for the drink. I'm never booking you ever.
Thank you for the drink and poured it right the fuck out.
It's like I said, a lot of friends like, oh, you want to, thanks for the follow on Facebook. not going to follow you back.
Which, by the way, wherever you are watching this show right now, please follow, subscribe,
yes,
like.
And for all of you that, I would just say, for all of you that are watching on X or Twitter, it's X. Gosh, we appreciate it, and we've seen our audience grow quite a bit on X. So we're happy, and please, if you would follow us there, follow that account, and also share what we're doing if you like it with people you think might enjoy it. We appreciate that, and you know, we this week didn't have anybody on with us, but last week we had the legendary Grappler. If you didn't see that one, you can go back and watch it. That was really entertaining. And we've had Darren Corbin, who's been on national television. He's a big, long time heel in indie wrestling in the upper Midwest and all over the place. But he was on the show The Floor. We had an opportunity to talk with him. We get to talk with a lot of people. I mean, we've had Billy Starks on, for gosh sakes, who is she still the ROH or
women's TV champion? Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't fuck around here.
Yeah, we got people who have held gold after being on our show. Okay, we I mean, she was doing great stuff before us, but you know,
we want her to come back someday. Don't say that. We will have some guests. We will more than likely have a guest next week too. I have to just confirm. So,
and at some point we're going to have a new theme song.
Oh yeah, that's coming soon too.
I can't wait for this. The absolutely fabulous Nerd D is redoing our theme song, and we can't wait.
Shout out Nerd D and DJ Hayes.
Yes, sir.
Indeed. All righty, folks. Well, other than that, we got nothing. If you got nothing, we'll call it a night. We appreciate you watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye-bye.